Welcome back to the 1009 podcast. Got the whole house with you here tonight. Me, Jacob, Grayson, and Seth. Um, no beating around the bush. Might as well just get into the disappointment from Saturday.
No beating around the bush because, damn.
We got
That,
beat around the bush.
Yeah.
that was our worst loss in a lot of years, I think.
And I don't want to jump the gun too quickly, but
That's
Beezy,
not it.
just start talking.
Man, I
Because
was very
hang on,
ill.
before you go any further, I'm probably about where you are 3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
What do you mean?
where the sky is falling.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Update us, Beezy, on the height of
Yeah,
the
update
sky
us on
and how much lower it is.
Right.
It's pretty low. That was a very terrible performance. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, Dabo in his post-game interview, he said it best. So, I mean, it was
Okay.
just, huh?
What'd he say? I don't know what he said.
I mean, just a butt whooping.
Yeah.
So,
He did say butt probably. That's not an ass man.
No, he cussed. I know I saw he cussed somewhere, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's probably said damn.
If he was ever going to, it would have been Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Okay. Here is my first point. We talked about this a couple weeks ago where I was saying the front seven have not lived up to expectations. I feel like Saturday was a perfect example of that. I do realize that the fact that our
Hang on.
offense couldn't stay on the field
And
does
yeah,
not help them.
I just want to take a moment here before we get any further. The fact that the first thing that Beezy mentions is the problem with this team is the
It's not DJ.
No.
front seven.
No, they're not. I'm going back to the point I made. All three of y'all argued with me with that. I think Saturday was a great example. I mean,
Probably argue
in
with
terms of them not living up to expectations, because I don't think any team would have ran on Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence like Notre Dame did on Saturday. And that our front seven this year was supposed to be the best we've ever had.
What?
It doesn't matter.
Really?
That's what
I
people
don't know
have been
about
saying.
front. I don't know about front seven.
I don't know.
Not
Best,
even front four.
Maybe not best we've ever had, but definitely best in the
I don't know.
country this year.
I don't know. He's probably right. Like it probably
Yeah.
is best front seven because this is like the first year we really had like athletic linebackers.
Yeah.
God
We've had
love
Kendall Joseph, Skowski.
smart players. You
Yeah.
know.
And I think that's the problem. We don't have that kind of guy who's a quarterback of the defense right now.
That's a good
Me?
point. That's a point.
You sold me there. I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Finally got me to a place.
We have
Yes.
playmakers. We don't
We
have
have-
thinkers.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
5 guys on the front seven that can run 4.4s, but yes, we don't have like a commander of the defense.
And it doesn't help when you have a first-year D coordinator and you don't have like a
Right.
Skowski out there.
Yeah, like you don't have a
Trey
coach
Lamar
on the
before him.
field.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we've always had that middle linebacker, that white middle linebacker that's a little below the athleticism of the rest of the front seven.
A
but
little.
His mind is
BC, what are you trying to say about white people?
His mind makes up for his lack of athletic ability,
what Bailey just said.
Particularly straight line speed. Yeah.
covering sideline to sideline. Don't get the edge on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and to go back to what y'all said a little bit ago, I definitely don't think that they are the problem. I just think that
They're not the solution.
no.
They're not enough to make up. for
I
the
felt
problem.
like I was watching a Clemson game with Tommy Bowden versus Georgia Tech back in the day. That's what I felt like I was watching.
That's very specific.
That's
but that's-
trauma related. Yeah.
That's what they did to us. Get up on us a little bit, run the ball down our throat, and
I
we
mean, they
couldn't
didn't
do
throw
a
it all.
dadgum thing about it.
47 carries, 263 yards, 5.6 yards a carry, 85 yards passing. So you're spot on.
Just
But they're also their offensive line is probably slightly different than what we're used to seeing in the
What's
ACC.
the final score? 35-14?
Yes.
It should have been like
Okay.
28-0.
Let's rationalize here a little bit, okay? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. 7 points came off a punt block.
turn.
Yes.
Yeah. Terrible
7
blocking.
points came off a pick six.
That was 96 yards. Yeah.
7 points came off of Cade throwing an interception at the 3-yard line.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
14 points on offense.
Yeah.
Right.
yes.
I think because I made that point because I didn't get to watch it much. I was at a wedding, and I said, so
Thank you.
theoretically, we lost 21-14.
Theoretically, we lost 14-0 or 14 to
14.
It was garbage time. But no,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like the third touchdown I'm talking about, Cade, he threw it when we were at like the 3-yard line and returned it to like the 6. Like
Right. Yeah.
like our defense gave up 14 points. So that's like the only thing I can rationalize. I know that they hounded us on the ground. That's fine. I get that the yards don't look good. But at the end of the day, points allowed is what we're going after. I don't give a damn if we give up 6,000 yards a game. If we give up 14 points a game, I'm never going to complain. So I think it's a disservice to the team that A, we started with defense being the issue, and B, that we're still even talking about it.
Yeah.
So before we get into the offense, which is terrible, what is y'all's feelings about Wes Godwin right now?
He gave up 14 points.
Yeah.
Like Jacob said, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I just checked Jacob. That second pick off Klubnik went. Their drive started at the 14, so it's right. That's right there.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be like, dang defense. Why did they score when they started on the 14?
Yeah.
Grayson,
And
what was the
I-
time of possession differential?
Grayson, see if you can pull it up from that drive.
5 minutes.
But I
5
think
minutes,
also
really?
6 minutes. Excuse me.
from that drive.
33-27 time of possession.
I mean, that's less one-sided than I thought it was, for real.
Well, that's 2 scores without the offense on the field, and another one that went
That
14
started to
yards.
14. Dude, you
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
Like, okay, all right. So let's say best case scenario, I'll give 4 of those points to the defense. So let's say they gave up 18 points. I know that
You got to win that game. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying here? Like
Yeah.
like where I get the number 18.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not winning that game. I mean, at 18 points, if your defense gives up a theoretical 18 points and you have no shot winning that game,
Mhm.
none.
Yeah. You're
And we're
Yeah.
still talking about the defense.
zoomed in on the wrong position
Yeah,
group.
and
But, I mean, yeah.
It doesn't help when you only run for 90 yards, throw for 191. Like,
Yeah. Our
Don't
offense was-
force a turnover again.
And then I didn't really, honestly, I didn't watch the fourth quarter. I was like sick all weekend, and then that wasn't helping matters. So I didn't see the drive that we were driving, and he threw that pick 6. But I heard that we were doing just fine on offense in the fourth quarter. I know it's garbage time, but play calling was different, is what I
No.
heard.
No,
It
need
It
wasn't.
really wasn't.
you need to have
Really?
emphasis on garbage time.
Yeah.
Okay, because everybody that I was seeing online is like, why couldn't we do this all game? But I guess it is
Because it
more-
wasn't 28-0 the whole game, Beezy. That's why. That's the issue.
Dude, what? Like, we had 2 weeks to come up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing changed at all.
I mean,
And they didn't teach DJ to throw to the second or third read either. So I don't know.
Why? And here's my thing. Why are we putting a freshman QB in at the end of the third quarter, starting on
At
his
the
own
5-yard
3-yard
line.
line
For one throw.
for one throw, and then you get mad at him for throwing a pick? Like, dog, he's in there to make a play, and he tried to make a play.
well, half the time
Yeah,
he's in there,
I
he's in the
just-
pocket for 2 seconds, and he has to run for his life.
A little bit of
Mhm.
freshman jit.
Or he throws off his back
Yeah.
foot like that pick. I mean, again, he's 18 years old. What do you think's going to happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's-
Yeah.
he gets a little
Former,
giddy. And
former Clemson
mean-
great Tucker Israel was very vocal the other day
And
about
he was right. He was
Yeah.
exactly right.
what
Yeah.
did he say?
He said it is painful to watch DJ try and work through his progressions while throwing the ball. If
He
his
doesn't
first
have
read,
questions.
if
My
his,
dad
if his,
said it-
if his first read isn't open, it's usually not a positive play. He looks unsure, late, indecisive, and uncomfortable in the pocket if his first read is taken away.
And see, I felt like there were games this season where that was not the case. It's like he's
What?
regressed.
No, there's been some.
No.
Majority of his throws are first read.
Right.
First read,
They
the
were just
poorest thing.
there in those games, or he threw them there. Yeah.
I mean,
And then
I don't
he
know.
quote
He
tweeted-
definitely showed improvement from games like 2 through 6, and then since then he's
But-
been crappy again. I don't
Like
know.
Wake
if that's-
Forest State,
opponents.
NC State.
Look at those
Yeah.
opponents.
But
Also, like,
those have not aged well
did he
at
throw
all.
2 picks against Florida State?
Was
I
it 2
think so.
years?
I'll give him NC State. He looked pretty good that game. He did.
Yes.
I mean, he was slinging it on not Notre Dame, Wake
2 years ago, yeah.
Forest.
I don't put
That's
any
because we had no
stock in
choice
him
but to
doing
sling it.
anything on Wake Forest.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna look at our schedule.
By the way, we're losing to the freaking Citadel by 4.
I told you.
It's a
Fire him.
great. Hey,
Fire
soccer
him
beat Duke.
at
Soccer beat
halftime.
Duke, #1 ranked ACC team. Yeah.
Undefeated Duke. That goal at the end was incredible too.
Yeah.
So shout out to some form of Clemson football winning this weekend.
But I mean,
Yeah,
as
I
much
went
as
out
we
and
talk
bought Power. Go ahead.
you go ahead.
I went out and bought Powerball tickets. The rest I do win in about 3.5 hours. Brownell's ass is fired tomorrow morning, and I'm paying the buyout myself. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. I hope we lose the Citadel. I hope we do. What is it we're gonna take?
We are not even 20 minutes into the season, and Grayson is already done.
I've been saying this for 7 damn years, and we're not any further as a program, and we still
Nah.
can't lead Citadel for 40 minutes at home in
It's-
front of 16 fans.
But
Y'all
that's
think
kinda like how
Neff
football
will
is
make a
too.
change? You think Neff will make a
No,
change? when...
he's too loyal.
I don't care.
Dang, boys.
Find somebody that will. I don't care.
You know, here's my rationale. This has been my rationale for keeping Brownell for a while.
There is none.
Oh.
Money laundering. Like, what are we doing?
Kind of, but you don't want to rock the boat and then a guy come in,
Monty
start
Lee.
paying players, and then the NCAA's all up in your business because you don't want them going across the river to football.
Yeah.
Now that NIL is a thing, who gives a shit?
Right.
Mhm.
Get him out.
Yeah. So before we get more in depth into basketball, what's football ceiling now? Is it
Orange Bowl.
playoffs still theoretically, or is
Theoretically,
it
it's
Orange
playoff.
Bowl?
I don't want to go to the playoff. Do y'all?
No.
No.
Want to? Nah, I'd rather go to Miami.
Put us in the Orange Bowl. We can be pissed at the committee, like, oh no, you guys hate us. You wouldn't put us in the playoff at 12-1. Put us in the Orange Bowl all day.
Who do
But
you
we-
even get from the Orange Bowl anymore?
Is it going
I
to be
don't
like
know.
the best group of 5?
I saw something that'd be
No.
like Bama. I saw it'd be Bama.
We would get
No.
I hope
saw
there's
Bama
another
and
coach
UNC.
being opt out of that game because
I
no
saw
thank
Bama
you.
and UNC playing in a random bowl.
That would also be murder.
But,
Yeah.
I was sitting here thinking, like, is it a player development issue here? Like,
no.
I don't think that's.
I mean, look at the
correct.
wide receivers.
The 2 best ones are freshmen, so that right there is development. I mean,
Joseph Mangata, what has he done in the past 4 years?
We just missed. We just
Yeah.
missed.
You think it's just been
our hit rate was so high at receiver, and now it's regressing to the mean,
Our
and we're
hit
like,
rate
oh,
was so dumb. We were turning walk-ons into NFL superstars.
yeah, exactly.
But different coaches.
We're just regressing to the mean.
Yeah.
It happened. Like we
But
turned
how long
a
have we
walk-on
been?
high school quarterback into a NFL superstar with 1,000 yards a year.
Who just got paid a huge amount of money
$50
in an
million.
extension.
But I mean,
Yeah.
do you
But
think?
it's different.
But is that
coaches.
more of the guy or the coach?
I mean, Jeff Scott could come back to
both.
Clemson and start bringing him in the building, but I
Our
think it's
talent
still,
evaluation is clearly not as good as what it was,
Yeah.
at least on offense.
That's what. Yeah.
Like,
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
trying to get at.
Makuba's a first rounder, Brazie's a first rounder, Miles
Trenton
a first
Simpson.
rounder, Trenton Simpson's a first rounder. Like
Yeah.
defense is fine.
yeah.
We've never really produced offensive products like insane at an insane clip like we do defense.
Well, receivers, yeah.
Yeah, outside of receivers. I
Not
don't
as
see any
much
of our
as
running
defense,
backs
but
scored. Yeah.
ET now, but yeah.
Quarterbacks have been pretty good.
I mean, offensive line, tight ends,
Offensive line, I'll give you.
running backs
Tight ends, we never
outside of
anyway.
Travis.
Tight ends? Who's
We don't feature tight ends anyway, so I don't know how they would even get to that point.
Dwayne Allen, baby. Dwayne
Dwayne
Allen.
That's what
Allen.
I'm saying.
Mike in the league for 5
That's
years.
one.
I mean, offensive line has been our worst talent
Right.
evaluation
100%.
standpoint at an NFL level. But I'm
Like
Thomas
past
Austin
7
trying
years.
to get it going.
Yeah.
That freshman's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to improve? Like is it quarterback?
Hire
Is
from
it
outside.
coaching?
We've had a quarterback make up for roster holes in the past, and it's not happening now, so we're seeing them more easily, which doesn't help.
I think that's
Yeah.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
we've just had in the past 7 years, we've
Yeah.
had generational quarterbacks.
I
It took
mean,
Matt
honestly,
long
Right.
Taj Boyd had plenty of weapons, so you can't really include him there.
Was our offensive line really that good under Deshaun? Not when Jake
Guillermo, Taylor Hearn, Phil
Right.
Morgan. I mean, Mitch Hyatt,
Right.
but like
he didn't even get drafted.
John
No, and
Simpson,
he was-
he's still in the league. That was later though.
Tremaine's in the league.
He's a good
Ankrum in the league too.
Ish.
But that was Trevor. They didn't play
Right.
when Deshaun was here.
Simpson did 1 year, but yeah. Actually,
I'm trying to think back to 2017 when Kelly Bryant started. Who we had T.
Who
That was
didn't
his
play.
freshman year.
He
He
didn't
didn't
play.
play that
He
much.
didn't.
He didn't
No,
play
he
that
wasn't.
year.
That
He
was
wasn't
Deion
T.
Ray Ray.
Yeah.
He was here, but yeah, he didn't play.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
Deion
who?
Ray Ray.
Up to him. I remember going
Martavis
up
Scott, maybe.
like a
Mhm.
couple practices before the spring game of his sophomore year, and I was like, "Yo, are you gonna start?" And he was like, "I hope so." He was like, "I'll be damned if like that Justin Ross kid takes my spot." And I thought it was hilarious.
And then
Wait,
he
I thought
posted that story
Justin
about
Ross was the
transferring to
2018
UTSA.
guy, right?
Yeah, it was the next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
Remember when T
Um,
posted that story about transferring to Tennessee Tech?
that was hilarious.
No.
I've never seen Jeff
You
Scott
don't
more
remember
mad.
Oh, I do know what y'all are talking about.
I have never seen Jeff Scott more livid in my life. That was hilarious.
So I don't know. It's yes, we're still going to play for ACC championship game. Thanks to Syracuse losing and don't even have to worry about
Right, yeah.
Louisville. I don't want to go to the playoffs. Honestly, we're not a playoff team, and we've known that.
No.
Yeah, we overreact to things just because we're homers, but like deep. I mean, we all know what kind of team we are. We watch it in and out. We've seen it before. Like
Right.
we know the differences from previous teams to this year's team, and it starts with the one that touches the ball the most.
Mhm.
Yeah. This was Syracuse in 17, but worse.
Dude,
That's-
Everything in college football goes to the quarterback. We were fools to suggest that with this quarterback we could make the playoffs still, or even win a playoff game. Like I even heard national pundits, they were like, their defense is good enough that like if they get in a playoff game, like they could win.
We just lose 28-7. That's what would happen.
That was just
It'd be like Bama in 17. It'd be
I
what,
mean, we saw what we
24-6
did
that
with
game?
Georgia last year.
Kelly Bryant is an infinitely better quarterback than
Yeah.
DJ.
Correct. Yes.
He's mobile. He can actually move.
And he played hurt a lot of that season too.
Dude, that's what I was saying. Like I was talking to a certain person that we don't mention on the show that like what is our strength as a team? It's our run game, right? Like Shipley, Maffa, whatever.
Yeah, not when they run for 90 yards a game.
That's because they put 8 in the box and say
Yeah.
they try to beat us and he can't.
Yeah.
That is
Right.
And
true.
if receivers aren't good enough to go one-on-one on the outside to make a
No.
play. So
There's
you
no
go-
one half as good as Mike Williams on jump balls on this team.
Right, you go 8 in the box and you go one-on-one on the outside with the safety over the top. Who is
They
gonna
try.
beat that?
And we tried that 3 times maybe. Have you seen like the passing chart tweets from our game? It's embarrassing.
There's passing chart tweets?
Yeah, they're horizontal, every single one of them.
We need to find that.
I'll
I
pull
want
it up.
to. I want to see his passing chart from the.
Oh yeah, every
a
single
whole
one of them
season.
was horizontal. Everything
It's
was
bad,
behind the
yeah.
line. Everything was a screen.
And
type
stayed behind the
deal.
line too, because we had no.
That's like
There was nothing.
And yeah, I agree with y'all. I guess that was just something surprising to me, how much we were getting run over. But offense is 100% our main problem. Like it is the problem of this team.
100%.
And I'm looking at DJ's numbers throughout the year,
oh my
and
gosh.
he had 138 yards versus Syracuse, 203 versus Florida State, 220. Like during that stretch, we were saying he was decent. Wake Forest 371, which is good, but that was an outlier
Overtime
game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
209,
ugly.
220,
Oh my God.
203. Like
Yeah, but
He
winning
hasn't-
hides a light too, Beezy. That's the thing. We were
Yeah.
skating by.
I mean, we were
Well, yeah.
thinking we were again, like Bailey mentioned, we might overreact when it comes to Clemson football, especially during game time. But like we were thinking, DJ. No, yes, you're like, is
Well,
DJ
that first
good?
drive, during Syracuse, we were like, holy shit, this offense is figured out. But then we're like, it's a scripted play. Like,
Yeah.
Hey,
Which that didn't even work Saturday. So
first 7 to 14 plays, we're the best team in this nation.
yeah.
One thing I've seen a lot here lately is that we do not have an offensive identity, and we haven't for a few years. Like it's been obvious since basically since Trevor left, we haven't had an identity.
So 2 years ago.
So DJ.
Yeah. We just haven't had
Yeah,
the
DJ.
Really,
we haven't had the
even-
same talent in the offense, so it's harder to
even-
like single out a guy.
I feel like even when Trevor was here, we still had this same sort of like setup that we have now. We just have
Well, here-
so much more talent that we could
Yeah,
make.
I mean, you got
do
a
with it.
Travis, you got a Justin Ross, you got a Amari
Yeah.
Rogers, you got.
We haven't had an up-to-date offensive identity since freaking. I mean,
Jeff Scott.
Chad
Yeah.
Morris left.
It's not for
That-
lack of looking or just not finding anything.
There's Jeff
That's the
Scott.
Speaking
Um,
of which, I mean,
Who? Yeah, I'd
Would
love
y'all
for him
bring
to
him
get
back?
north and come back up here. Absolutely.
I mean-
Could it get worse? Really? I mean,
We
what do we have
should-
to lose?
We should fire everyone on this offensive staff. Every single person.
Thomas Austin,
And
CJ Spiller.
I don't care.
You can't
Get
fire
rid
CJ
of-
Spiller. No, that's
Get rid of all of them. Get rid of everybody. Go to hire literally anyone on
Hey.
Ole Miss,
Willie
Tennessee,
Corn.
UC.
no.
I
Nah.
mean, Coastal.
Chadwell.
Clemson. He's a
That
Clemson
triple-
guy, and at least he's been other
Yeah.
places,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is the main
It's
complaint.
not like-
I don't care if you're a Clemson guy. I don't care if you're a Clemson guy. I care
I'm
that
not
you
a
have
Clemson guy that's been here for 15 years.
right.
The
What
hiring from within experiment is dead. That should never ever happen again.
done?
Ever.
Done.
And I love the guys they promoted, but it
we
is
can
not
hire-
panned out.
You can hire from within again the next time a Trevor Lawrence walks through this door. Then I'm fine with it.
Yeah. When we have a
Willie
1.00 rated QB commit, sure, do it. I don't care.
Willie
Imagine
Corn, baby.
Imagine if like when Deshaun and or Trevor was here that we ran like Steve Sarkisian's offense when he was at Bama.
Yeah.
Or like Lane Kiffin. Or like Josh Heupel. Or like Lincoln Riley.
We be flinging the ball everywhere.
I mean,
That,
like,
with
Trevor
Caden
won
at quarterback,
3 national titles.
with Caden at quarterback, that triple option kind of thing that Coastal runs, would that work?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen Coastal play enough.
In the
they run
ACC,
like
it might.
they run like a triple option air raid offense.
Is McCall
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. He's like
Hey, hard
he's a year
explain.
6 guy.
clips?
What'd you say?
Let me look at some clips.
Yeah. It's
Triple option air raid.
I'll try
it's
anything at
hard
this
to
point.
explain.
If it goes past the line of scrimmage, I don't care what it is. I'll run 4 verts for 3 hours and throw 7 interceptions. I don't care.
Agreed.
I agree.
Agreed.
I'm so
Agreed.
sick and damn tired
Maybe
of just
for
looking.
one.
Snap the ball. I like to like turn my neck, whatever degrees that is, to see it, and I'm not looking down the field because no one's
There's not
going there at
McCall.
that point.
McCall's the quarterback.
And this, I mean, our offensive identity sucks. Like our playbook sucks. It's worked better, and it would work better if we had a bunch of players like Williams. Williams is like who our offense is built for. Antonio Williams. Antonio. He's the type of guy. What,
Act
Jacob?
like that's a name like LeBron. Like we
No. He's the type of he's
I
the
think
type
Mike
of person-
Williams is Williams, but
I
yeah.
thought Mike Williams. I was like, is he talking about Caleb Williams? Because yeah, he's right. And then like I don't know.
Well, Antonio Williams, Mike Williams also, if we had a guy that could get up and get a jump ball.
Antonio will be very good, but he's a true freshman. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but like we don't have anybody else on our roster like that, like that's
Right, yeah.
shown up first year. And I mean, that's the kind of talent that we need in order for our offense to succeed. We have to have incredible talent.
I mean,
So
you
that
just don't.
doesn't,
But when you don't have a guy that can get them the ability to make the plays, that's where it kind of.
what's crazy to me is
Falters
like
as
Bo
well.
Collins and DJ, how they were at high school together, but they still like don't have a connection. I don't feel like.
They don't have a connection because DJ can't get in the ball.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's- yeah.
Sucks.
there's mocks of like coming into the year of Bo being a first round receiver. Like he
Really?
has the physical attributes and the tools. No one can just get him the damn ball. Also, he can't stay healthy. But by the way, this offense is so awesome.
Coastals? I told you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a read. It's like a pure read option, kind of like.
I watched it
Oh, it-
against App State, and they
You're
moved
right.
the ball.
It's triple option with the spread.
Yeah.
They moved the ball really, really well.
It's
That's like.
it is
that's
a
what we
triple
can-
option with the spread. I think
I mean,
Cade would do numbers. This like Grant McCall just looks like Cade.
Yeah. See, like, remember how, like, when we brought in Chad Morris and his offense wasn't really seen before at the Power 5 level.
No.
Right.
And we haven't seen that Coastal offense at the Power 5 level. Why not bring in someone like that? But no, we're going to bring in someone that has run the same offense. It's literally the same play calling from 5 years now. So
No, this is like, I don't know. He's like running Chad Morris's offense.
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, they
Who?
have never
Trying to.
they have never
Peter is, yeah.
gone away from
yes.
Morris's offense.
Jeff Scott did a little bit.
for some, I don't know why, but I thought Morris's offense was more in the air. And
This is a dumbed down Chad Morris offense.
Chad Morrison was horizontal to go vertical. That's all he was. same concept that we're trying to run here.
We just lacked the vertical everything. Yeah.
Dude, it's not
Right.
like
And the QB.
It's horizontal to go backwards is what it is.
We are more run heavy now than
Dude,
Chad
like,
Morris.
I don't understand.
We don't have a choice.
That's
How
the
many
thing.
We don't have a
times?
choice.
How
That's
many
been the
times-
case for like 4 years.
How many
Again,
times did
wow.
Travis Etienne take like a trap play 60 yards? Like, why don't we see that anymore? Why don't we saw for like, I swear, half a week, like a tight end down the seam. Like, why don't we see that anymore?
First play against Syracuse. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Like, why don't
We
we
never did it again.
We have good tight ends. Throw the ball to them.
Yeah,
You have
our
good tight
tight ends are our most dependable guys out there.
do have good tight ends? Yeah.
So there's a good 30 minutes of Clemson football. We're going to keep talking ourselves into the damn ground with this. But we're not the only team to lose a playoff spot. Shout out to Alabama losing to LSU. They're dead this year. People are saying that the dynasty for them is dead. Saban needs to retire. Like, talk about going over the top with things.
Last time that happened, they won the championship the next year. So it's
Yeah.
a little quick. As much as I
Right.
would love to have that become reality, I think it's a little quick.
You know what he's going to do? He will make changes that will benefit his team.
Well,
Correct.
because his coaches would go get hired somewhere too.
That's
Al-
true.
Also that.
He'll fire a man.
Yeah.
Huh?
He'll fire a coach.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's in it to win it. Like he doesn't have any kind of.
He has relative loyalty.
Yeah, he's got loyalty, but
Still a system, though. He has no
He's
problem.
able to turn over though.
But he knows.
Yes.
Like
has
his
insane
coaches don't
turnover.
have loyalty to him either. Like they'll
That's
leave
true.
when
No. Yeah.
I mean, Lane's about to go to Auburn.
maybe.
I could see
I
it.
hope Hugh Freeze goes to Auburn.
Yeah.
By the way, we're up by 14 going into half.
Yeah. First
We're
game,
up
James
by?
Grayson.
Yeah, we're up by 14.
So LSU wins the SEC championship.
Nope.
LSU's in.
Playoff?
LSU's in.
no,
I
they're
don't
not.
know.
Not a two
It'll be
loss.
Georgia, LSU, winner of Ohio State, TCU, and then some conglomeration of Pac-12 champion / Big 12 champion.
You mean Ohio State, Michigan, not TCU?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, if we get 2 loss Pac-12 champ and TCU loses, I think honestly once.
See, this season's just it's a mess. It's all over the.
Makes it fun though.
Oh yeah, it's something out of the norm that we're used to.
I wish
Right.
this season. I wish the season that is currently happening was happening, but we're scoring 40 points a year. For that game.
And
know?
there was a 12-team
A year. That's more accurate for what we're doing.
I mean, boy, this is the past couple weeks is like worse than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels worse than last year. I don't know how, but it does.
Probably because there's hope. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
Yeah, we didn't lose the first game of the season, and then.
However short-sighted or ill-advised the hope was, there was hope
Right, it
like,
was still there.
between
Yeah.
all of us here, regardless of what we say now. There was hope. Like,
Yeah.
we
And
could
that's
win
what-
it.
That's what I was saying when you were walking away. Like, we know deep down it's not a good team, but we still get caught up in it in the moment and think that, oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna make the playoffs. We could do this.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're like,
we-
oh, ACC.
Yeah.
We get
Yeah.
12 in the ACC.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we're
Boys,
still
we
in the
might.
ACC,
Yeah, we
so-
might.
Hey, let's go doomsday scenario. South Carolina.
Shut up.
Ah!
No,
That's
I don't
what
care.
thought.
God.
That's what I thought.
No
That team
chance.
is bad. That team is bad.
They're 5-3, man.
My rule of
Better
thumb:
have
if
5-3.
Mizzou can do it, we can do it at home. So
You know who else was 5-3 when they beat us? Notre Dame.
Notre Dame would steamroll South Carolina.
Yeah, I think
yes,
I don't know. Notre Dame might be the best 5-3 team in the whole nation.
What got them back into it was their damn coach converting to being a Catholic.
That's true. They've also beat North Carolina on the road too, so they're really just kind of ruining the ACC as a whole this year.
And Syracuse.
Well,
Mhm.
that I mean,
Hey, let's be honest, boys. If we beat a 12-1 North Carolina,
they'll be a top 15 team
I've been
easily.
hopeful.
they'll probably be a top 10 team.
Right.
Yeah.
At 12-1. Yeah.
I mean, we're still not
We
necessarily.
need a
There's a
2-loss
one-loss-
Pac-12
it's just
champ,
not
and we need
ideal.
TCU to lose. And then I think
Two-loss
we're in at
Pac-12
12-1.
champ, TCU to lose, yes.
We're in at
And
12
we're like,
yeah.
Do
we're
we
in at
need
12-1.
Tennessee to slip up?
So you think we're
Yeah.
in over a 12-1 TCU team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Why?
a win over a top 10 UNC team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
And Florida
TCU
State
goes
might get
to
it
Texas
ranked by
this
then,
weekend,
too.
so we will not be talking about this next week, I think.
I
Yeah,
think
I've heard
TCU's gonna get
TCU.
smoked.
They're gonna have like
They're
all the
not
competition.
good, man.
TCU's
TCU
not
is
good?
not good.
They beat another beat up quarterback team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Barely.
they'll. Do we want to talk about Tennessee? We hadn't talked about Tennessee.
There's
In
not much to
Georgia.
talk about.
Yeah.
They got murdered. Yeah.
Georgia's the best
No,
team.
they did not get murdered.
Georgia threw the ball 5 times in the second half. That could have been 63-6 if they wanted it to be.
Maybe.
Do not tell me that was a 14-point
Do y'all
game.
think
'Cause it-
Tennessee was overhyped going in?
No.
Well, yeah, by default. They were number 1 in the country. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The problem, overhyped and overranked is like different than did they deserve one
Right.
ranking? Yeah.
They
Yes,
obviously
they
deserve the
deserve-
top
Right.
ranking. They've had the
They
best
were
wins, the
overrated.
best season to date until Saturday.
Yes.
Yes.
Mainly they were there because of a win over a down Alabama. So
Most of the rankings are what have you done for me lately?
Down is relative.
We
They're
can't
still-
really.
down
Alabama
from
win is still a
Alabama
great win.
standard. That's true.
Right, but their standard is so high above everybody else's, doesn't
Their
I mean,
standard is 15-0.
I know, but that's
14
what
and
people.
1.
That's what people think that Tennessee beat, but they didn't beat that this year. They're
They
beating.
beat a football team. No, everyone knew
that's
Alabama.
still a good win. Yeah.
They don't have. Yeah, they don't have. They don't
I'm
have.
not saying it's a bad win.
And-
They've
and
been
there's also
flawed
a
since the
home
Texas
atmosphere,
game.
too.
Yeah, they have been a super penalized team this year as well. Very undisciplined
Yes.
team.
Yeah, no one thought this was like 2020 Alabama.
No,
No.
Texas A&M, Tennessee. These were all signs that this was not the Saban product of usual. But I mean,
Tennessee has beat good teams, so
Right.
you know.
Who else?
Yeah.
have they beat?
LSU.
LSU.
Florida,
They did beat
They-
LSU. Yes.
they beat LSU
Florida.
by 50
Kentucky.
killed
ish.
in Baton Rouge.
Kentucky's not
they-
good. I'm sorry.
They're still
No.
ranked. They're still
No.
They're
ranked.
not good though.
They're about to drop out.
I don't
though,
think they're-
If you get whipped by South Carolina, you're not good. I'm sorry.
Well, that was
point-
South, but yeah.
point granted though.
I don't get how Ole Miss is still so high rated as well. I feel like
What
they
conference
should-
they in,
They're
BC?
only a one-loss team.
What conference they in, BZ? And also they won lost. So yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Do
They
we
just
see
got
TCU at 4 tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
serious.
Yeah. For
I think
reason,
they will
said
be.
Ole Miss.
Georgia, Big Ten, TCU. I think that's how it
You
plays
have to.
out.
They're the undefeated
Yeah.
team. You have
I
to.
think that's how it plays
Tennessee
out.
at
so far.
5.
They
Tennessee at
ranked
5.
Alabama ahead of them.
How far are we going to be at?
I don't
No.
want to know.
We're
We're
gonna
12 in the
do 12.
AP. Are we not?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll probably be like 9th in the playoff.
Yeah.
You think? You think we'll be top 10? Above 10?
Dude, I say this
I could
because
see it.
so many people. There's so much value in brand recognition to like
Right.
people, like not writers who have grudges against certain teams and like whatever, but like people in a room sitting talking around being like, you know, Clemson lost and like where should they be, like 6th or 12th, and they're like, it's Clemson, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
they recruit well. It's kind of like the Texas A&M effect, except for we actually win sometimes.
Yeah. BZ, the AP voters, half a dozen of them put Alabama ahead of LSU still. So I'm going to leave that conversation there as far
They
as,
did.
yes, how much credit we should associate these idiots that get these votes.
That
to
is
have,
ridiculous.
so,
That is so ridiculous.
Another question for tomorrow. Who's at 5, Oregon or Tennessee, assuming we see TCU at 4?
It should be Tennessee, just based off of the same losses
Yeah.
by less of a score. It should be Tennessee. I firmly,
Yeah.
I don't care that it was like first game versus, you know, new coach.
Right.
I don't care about that.
Tennessee has better wins than Oregon as well, don't they?
It's
I mean-
comparable, I think.
Who's Oregon's best win?
At the time of they beat them, Tennessee is far and away better wins.
Yes.
Hindsight?
UCLA?
I mean, UCLA's a good win, 15-point
Shoot.
win.
It's LSU and UCLA are very comparable.
That's it.
You can see LSU at 7 tomorrow.
Florida's not ranked. Has Oregon played Utah?
No, they don't play them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do on
They
November
haven't
19th.
played Southern.
Do
I
they?
think Oregon's
Okay,
got a
okay.
cakewalk, kind of.
Oregon has a lot to prove in the next couple weeks. They got Washington and Utah.
Once again, a 2-loss Pac-12 champion,
Not going in.
and TCU loses.
Right.
It went out. See, I'm doing it to us.
No, that's absolutely the path, but that's a lot of help.
What about Saturday has been like? Yeah, we can run the table.
Nothing. I mean, we got Louisville next week. I mean, I'm scared about that game already.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared that everybody's going to take that same game plan that Notre Dame did in terms of just stacking the box.
Are we favored Saturday? That's a legit question.
I haven't
It's a
looked.
home game.
We have to be.
We have
I
to be.
think
We're not that good.
But let's take everything out of context. Let's take the let's take the names away, and let's only take the teams in the past 4 weeks. Who do you say is the better team?
Holy crap! Louisville smacked Wake Forest.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
But that took a quarter from hell or a half from hell too.
Spread.
Honestly, it's a touchdown by the way. We're favored.
We got a 75% chance to win the game.
That FBI stuff's stupid.
I don't know. It seems right.
I mean,
I
if I
mean-
said that Saturday too. So
So they
Malik
just
Cunningham's
beat a solid James Madison team. Not good.
faltering.
They're- that's a lively G5.
Beat Pittsburgh by 2 touchdowns. Smoked Virginia. Ooh, they lost to Boston College.
That's a
Yeah,
weird game.
that was literally a month ago, I think.
It was. It was 5 games ago.
Right.
They lost to FSU. They barely beat UCF. They got smacked by Syracuse. Basically, like mid-season, they did a turnaround.
Well, that means they beat a ranked UCF team, whose 1 losses to Louisville.
They beat them second game of the year, 20-14.
That was an early week game too.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is don't be surprised if we lose to Louisville. We're going to beat the hell out of Miami. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
especially at
they're
home.
Almost as bad as Georgia Tech.
What if we end up being 10-3 again?
Hang on.
People will get fired.
It could happen.
People will get fired.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
It could and go back to the Cheez-It Bowl.
Jesus.
If we don't
mean,
win the ACC championship, that's where we go.
Yeah, that's where we would be. It's
Yeah,
very
it's-
possible we don't win
That's
it.
the number 2 ACC.
Why are we still talking about Clemson, though?
That's nightmare fuel.
Well, why, Beezy? Because we just got murdered.
We were the manager in the scissor lift in the 40-mile-an-hour winds. Is what happened.
It's the most disappointing
We
showing of the
lost
whole weekend.
by 3 touchdowns. 3! And it wasn't even close to being
Close.
close.
No.
No, we got. I think
mean,
that's Sweeney's
give it
worst
35
loss. Apart from West Virginia, I think that's his worst loss.
Apart from, yeah, we didn't quite give up 70.
Ohio State in the playoffs.
Yeah. That was
Ohio
21 points too.
No.
Alabama in the
Listen,
playoffs.
Alabama in the playoffs.
no.
LSU in
Given
the national championship game.
no, listen. Given the
Syracuse.
talent differential,
Syracuse.
Any of the 5
Syracuse
South
is
Carolina.
bad.
Yeah.
Well, they were decent back then.
Remember the
I
whole
mean, we
term
should've won.
Clemsoning?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was before Dabo's time, basically.
No, was it?
What? No,
That was
BZ. It
all
was not.
Dabo time.
No.
I felt like that.
No.
No, he got rid of the Clemsoning argument back in like 2015, didn't he?
He started it.
Nathan
ended it.
Peterman brought it back really quick.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh loss.
Yeah.
You remember when we
kicker with
were
the last
losing to
name
Georgia Tech
blew it.
every other year.
Yeah.
But y'all don't see my point in that we were so heavily favored to win this game, and we got
Mhm.
dominated.
Wasn't it
Uh-huh.
like 3.5?
It was 4.5 BZ. It's our second lowest spread of the season, except for Florida State.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, BZ, I love you. I love you.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess like in my head, I was just so confident we were going to win this game.
I think we all were.
Yeah. That's why I drove 10.5 hours. Yeah.
Like I literally had no doubts about this game. I was like, oh, our front
Yeah,
seven's
Well,
good
I
enough. We're
wouldn't
gonna
say
had
no
doubts.
doubts.
Yeah,
I had no
Notre
doubts.
Dame in South Bend, you should always have a doubt.
I had
Austin last time.
I had
we were there.
memories of the last time. Yeah.
It's
And
just funny
With
that
good
Stanford,
DJ. So, yeah.
Stanford and Marshall beat you at the same location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I
Like
don't
I
think
said,
I'm the
though.
only one that holds that opinion either. And this is one of Dabo's worst losses ever just because of the expectations. Like, yeah, we've had bad playoff losses, but that's to a really good team. Notre Dame, like we were expected. Huh?
Notre Dame has the talent and expectations of
Yeah.
a top 5 team.
But they were
Right.
5-3 prior to our
They
game.
mostly underperformed, yes, but I'm saying the talent to put it all together was there at any game.
I mean, they got a top.
As a program,
They
that's
have the
not
best
one of our
tight
worst
end in the
losses
nation.
at all.
One of the best.
Their defense
that
is still
that-
awesome.
Yeah. That last FU drive, they just used him as much as they wanted to. It
They
was-
have 6 blocked punts on the year. Like,
yeah, no, that's a
Yeah.
stat right there.
Shout out Stopwatch for that.
oh god. I think we've covered it all.
Yeah. They don't deserve any more of our time. I'll put it like
Yeah.
that. Honestly, I think Tennessee had the best loss of the weekend because they are spared from Atlanta and they can get in being idle championship Saturday. So, I mean, we see it in the SEC every couple of years. There's a team that loses this game and you think, things are going wrong. This team's got issues. And then you think, well, they're not going to play Alabama in a month. And all of a sudden,
but
the skies get brighter. But
Tennessee's probably going to have – I mean, Tennessee probably is the same path to the playoffs as us.
right, they need chaos, just like we do.
You to lose in a 2-loss Pac-12 champion.
Right. They need 2 Power 5 conferences to not be represented, just like we do. So,
Because, I mean, the Big Ten's a lock.
right.
Whoever wins the Big House, whatever. Do they call that anything?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
They almost
But-
don't have to.
Whoever wins that game is in. Georgia is in.
Yes.
Period.
Period. End of discussion. Georgia's in.
Does the loser in the Big House have a chance, like Tennessee, to sit out championship
Ooh.
Saturday? Because we haven't talked about that at all. I don't think anybody is.
No,
About what?
because regardless of how you think their team is this year, neither one of them beat Alabama.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I don't. It's
Talking about brands, though. I mean,
It's just, I know, but I'm saying, who did you beat? It's like, you
Right.
compare schedules. It's like, oh, but Tennessee beat Alabama.
yeah, that's true.
You
But
know?
like a whole body of work wise, I feel like it's going to be comparable. Now, Michigan probably can't because they're out of conference,
Yeah,
which is
right.
a big issue for them. And we saw it the first playoff poll. That's going to continue to haunt them.
Which Tennessee? I mean, I guess technically Tennessee played Pittsburgh, so not a good team,
Yeah.
but it's another Power 5 school.
It's better than Colorado State, UConn, and whoever else Michigan
Right.
played. So it's,
Right.
It was a Power 5 true road game or Heinz Field.
I mean,
I guess that is
true.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that's
It was a Power 5 True Roads game. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So I guess can Ohio State get in losing to Michigan? Would really be the only scenario the Big Ten gets to in.
if Notre Dame finishes top 15,
Right. 9-3 Notre Dame is a win on your schedule.
maybe.
That's
Maybe. Yeah, out of those two, that I mean, if Ohio State loses, maybe. If Michigan loses, no.
I think I agree too. I was kind of surprised just how little that's been talked about. We obsess over these 2 or 3 teams from the SEC playoffs, and you look at 2 undefeated top 5, well, soon to be top 3 teams out in the Big Ten right now. So,
But
I
also,
think you're right.
the difference is, what am I trying to say? What is the difference? I
Well,
don't know.
Ohio State clearly has a better resume. I mean,
Yeah.
It also depends on
how the game
How-
goes too.
how big the
Right,
loss is. If it's a down to the wire game.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, you're right. B.
Okay,
If
yeah,
Ohio State's able to make Michigan throw the ball, then
yeah.
If either one of them beats them by 14 points, they're out.
yeah.
Oh, also, like voters talking about Tennessee, you could be like, oh, if Tennessee faces Georgia and Arizona in a dome, that game's different. Like you could easily rationalize that. That game was in a
Yeah.
hurricane. Like you could
I
easily
mean,
be
we
like,
saw.
Huh?
I mean, not to bring it back to Clemson, but COVID lost to them at Notre Dame. ACC championship game, blew them out, neutral site.
Well, different quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, that quarterback was throwing for 356 yards or whatever it was at Notre Dame. So
DJ threw like 430.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I see what you're
whatever the
talking
numbers
about.
were. Yeah,
The numbers were
I'm just-
similar. The QB was
yeah.
not. Yeah.
The
that's-
atmosphere obviously helps with a lot of things. I mean, we saw that with Alabama and Tennessee. Saw that with Alabama and Texas. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Tennessee
just-
went into LSU and smoked them, but the new game they can't get up for those.
Which LSU being in the SEC championship game with smoking them in Baton Rouge, plus a win against Alabama.
Yeah.
You put
That
that
helps.
record against Ohio State, Michigan with one loss. I don't see how they come out on top.
Yeah. Speaking of Big Ten, though, Ohio State 21-7 in some bad weather at Northwestern.
Once again, yeah. Also,
Yeah.
comparing resumes,
Yeah.
both of those teams have some tight ones.
Bad.
Yeah.
Northwestern is still yet to win in America.
Right.
Also, that game was like a lot closer than 21-7.
Yes, it
Oh,
was.
100%.
Yeah.
They looked bad this weekend. Weather outstanding. So,
So,
but everybody has a bad game every now and then. But
Right. That was their
Northwestern
Mizzou,
is 1
essentially.
and 8.
no, but
Northwestern
if
is
we
one
have a
of the
bad game,
worst
it's the end of
teams.
the world.
And Ohio State scored with 4 minutes left to put that in full context. Like
Right.
Jacob said. It was 14-7 for a quarter and a half, essentially.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ohio State's resume right now. They're just better than Michigan, but
They have the best eye test resume in the country, I think.
They have the best eye test
Right.
and resume.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm saying
Georgia,
like they've been handling the bad teams before Saturday by a billion points, which helps
had
if the
was
schedule.
some- I mean, before Notre Dame beat us, they didn't look good against Notre Dame, who ended up being, I mean, depending upon if they finished 9-3, it's a different conversation. And at initially that 1 week, I was like, they might finish 5-7. You know what I
And
mean?
they might fire
Yeah.
Freeman, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
they had a good win. Ohio State had a good win over Penn State.
Right, that was 2 touchdowns too.
At Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, beat Iowa by 40, Michigan State by 30, Rutgers by 40, Wisconsin by 30. I mean, they just rolled through the below average middle of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Big Ten sucks.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Illinois lost at home to Michigan State. I mean,
Yeah.
that was bad
Yeah, that was bad.
because that doesn't help whoever emerges from the big house in that big rivalry game to play. I mean, it could have been one loss Illinois. Now they have 2, and they may pick up another between now and that championship game. So that would not help. I mean, obviously the champ is in, but as far as seeding
Champ
goes,
is
that would
in.
help.
Who's good? Georgia?
Georgia.
Yeah,
Georgia.
there's no longer 1A, 1B, 1C. It's Georgia and 1.
It's,
Yeah.
there's a clear 1 and 2.
There's
it's
a
a clear-
2A and 2B, both in the Big Ten, I think.
Oh. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then 4, like I said earlier, I think it's TCU tomorrow night. I really do.
Okay, I think it'll be tomorrow too. But if you had to rank them off of who's the best team, what's your 1 through 4? Might it be Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Tennessee?
I think Tennessee's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That yeah, you can flip flop.
Like neutral field, who's winning Tennessee or TCU? I mean, that's
If I'm predicting how the playoff is going to be, I think it'll be Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Tennessee.
You think
Yeah.
Michigan stays at
Tomorrow?
5?
Michigan's going to lose to Ohio State. That's my prediction.
right.
Oh,
So
you're
that'll
fine.
take care of itself. Not this week, but it will
Oh,
happen.
I know. Yeah, I'm saying inevitably, like playoff. I think it'll be Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, or Tennessee.
See, the committee is going to rank TCU because of like all the backlash that they got last week for like having them so low. They're going to have them at 4. Not solely because of that, but it helps.
Yeah, if
Might
you
play
put
into it.
Tennessee over him, it's again this week, it's gonna be like, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting.
4
Once
weeks.
again, I think TCU handles themselves. I think they lose to Texas, and I think they lose in the Big 12 championship game.
I can see
Do you
that.
guys know who's second in the Big 12 currently?
Is it
Kansas
Kansas
State?
State?
It's Texas.
Oklahoma?
It's Texas.
Texas?
Wow.
Yeah.
Deciding.
So
Hang
1
on.
versus 2 in the Big 12 this
Hang
weekend.
on.
Hang on. A two-loss Pac-12
3.
champion. A Ohio State, Georgia. We lose. North Carolina loses again. We lose to North Carolina in the
Are you about to
championship.
throw Texas up there?
3-loss
I-
Texas, there's no way.
You can't.
There's a way.
You can't context your way out of 3 losses.
If we're
You
two
can't
loss,
do it.
if we're 2-loss, North Carolina's 2-loss, Pac-12 champs 2-loss.
Where's Texas at right now, though?
14?
Are they?
They were at 24 before they won at Kansas State this weekend
They're at 18.
in the AP. So they'll be top
then if
20
they
in the
beat-
playoff poll tomorrow.
If they beat a number 4 TCU, that puts them at probably like 11 or 12.
Twice. Beat a number 4 TCU team twice. So
Well,
they'll
they would
be
not be 4.
I know, but they'll be a top 10 TCU team twice.
But do you think if they beat them both times, they actually realize that TCU is not a good team? So it's kind of like it
Right.
cancels itself out.
Maybe I'm just brought it up for discussion.
Texas is not going to be in the playoff.
I'm throwing out
Conversation
scenario.
started. Conversation
LSU
started.
has a way better chance than
It's
Texas.
the
does.
conversation started. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would be TCU, Kansas, and Baylor. Baylor could be ranked by the end of the year.
They should be
Kansas has a way
terrified.
better chance to be, but yeah.
Kansas.
I mean,
I
if
know they're
Texas
bowl
did-
eligible now. My
poop the
take
bed.
is gone.
Yeah.
huh?
I had to take.
Shout out
that
to Mike
Kansas might
Gundy again.
lose
Yeah.
the rest of the season.
Boys, should we make a trip to Miami if we go?
I'm down.
Watch this end up in like Charlotte.
That would
I
be
can't fathom watching a worse loss live. So yeah, I'm down.
Hang on,
Yeah,
let's
I
look.
want to know when I go to Miami.
When is the Orange Bowl this year?
Probably 30th.
Early January, late December.
I know, because I mean, sometimes it's like January 2nd, sometimes like December
December 30th.
30th. All right,
Okay.
December 30th. Flights.
I'm driving that. Done it before.
I just drove to Notre Dame. I'm driving to Florida. Are you kidding me?
Oh, really?
Oh, that's on a Friday.
Because direct flights out of
really?
Atlanta those days, leaving on the 29th and coming back the 31st, are $120.
Oh, damn.
I'm flying.
Would you dare buy that today though? No.
Maybe.
No.
No,
Go
but
look
it's
at
Atlanta.
hotels. Go look at
It's out of
hotels for around
Atlanta.
that time.
That yeah.
And it's saying prices are high. At the beginning of January, you can go from Atlanta to Miami for $40.
I will circle back to this assuming we beat Louisville. How about that?
Okay, deal.
Because until that happens, I'm
gonna
not
text-
confident, but I'm not buying a yeah. You know what I mean?
Anything else on college football? Anybody?
I don't- anything else on anything, period.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Bailey loves overs, and SMU beat Houston at 77-63 Saturday night. So
I saw that.
mention
That was awesome.
That is
Awesome.
ridiculous. But yeah, Kansas going bowling, like Bailey mentioned a minute ago. Jimbo's now 3-6 at A&M.
Fire.
Florida murdered them. I think it was 41-24. A&M had some flu issues, but yeah, just ugly season down there in A&M. So it could be worse. We're complaining about.
He's
A&M.
gone after this year, right?
Who?
Jimbo?
Fisher.
No.
No, his buyout's
Wow.
still. I mean, I don't think buyouts matter to Texas A&M boosters, but it is
Not
still
enough
like
recruits have
80
walked in 23 to get there yet.
2 5-stars decommitted today.
Okay,
I
out of
think it's
what,
going to be
9?
more of you give up the play calling.
What's
They have
crazy
QB
is
issues, too.
Jimbo's not like. I mean, he's had success, so it's interesting.
Not with his guys ever though.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Was this
Was,
year,
Jim, was Jimbo his guy?
is this year 3?
4.
Was he coaching when we played them?
Yes. When Trevor came in, that was his
That-
first year.
4?
18.
Year 4 isn't his guys?
What? No, they're his
No,
guys.
he's saying
It's
he
just
hasn't had
doesn't win
success
with
with,
them.
his guy. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were trying to rationalize that he doesn't have
No.
guys in there.
No, he's missing a bowl game with his guys. That's the big problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Was Jameis his guy?
Nope.
No.
Oh,
Really?
what? It was the old guy.
Bobby.
Bobby!
Yes.
Well, even those like
Rest
first
in
year
peace.
Texas A&M team, that was still Kevin Sumlin's guys.
Wait, is this year 5? Eight-
Yes, it is.
4.
Yeah, starting at 18. So yeah, it would be.
22.
Oh wow. Yeah, he needs to get. He needs to be gone. Oh my
He might
god.
be gone. He might
Who do
be.
you go get though?
Doesn't matter to them.
No, let's
Yes,
take
it does.
Hey, conversation. Yes, it does.
Yes,
Conversation.
it does matter.
Hang on. Ready?
Money doesn't matter.
Ready? Urban Meyer.
Yeah. If that's not your first call, then you can't fire Jimbo.
Then you can't fire him. If he's
That
not your
needs to
first
be a lot of teams' first call.
You're not giving Hugh Freeze that job.
Nope.
I'm sorry, you're not. Or Lane Kiffin. Yeah, no.
Nope. You
Ooh.
might give that job.
If you don't have a title,
Awesome.
don't even bother. Just don't bother. They're not gonna.
Yeah.
They're not doing it. They're not.
Who would be a good fit? Okay, Urban Meyer is your first call. If you
Yes.
don't call Urban Meyer first, you don't fire Jimbo Fisher. I'm sorry.
Right.
You got to have that locked in pretty much.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I think if you're gonna fire him this year, it's Urban Meyer or bust, because he will get you a national title at all costs.
Yes.
Or get
It
you
will be vacated, but he will get it.
That's fine. That's fine for them. They'll still claim it. It's fine.
Oh, they already claimed like 12. Yeah, it's fine.
Who else? Who else is the call?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can't go Dan Mullen.
No.
Don't want Matt Rule.
The Colts
want, like, a
stole that
current-
playbook today with
You
Jeff
want a
Saturday,
current
which we'll
coach
get to.
that's coaching?
I mean, maybe.
Do you go after Lincoln?
Matt Rule?
Lakin Riley won't leave.
He's stuck.
No, he will not leave.
There's
It's-
Lane Kiffin.
It's Lane Kiffin
Try and steal Sarkisian? I just don't.
from Texas.
Yeah.
That would be.
They've
just
got a lot of money. They don't have Austin money.
Do they have enough to steal him though? I'm just saying.
No,
Like,
money. A&M
yeah.
doesn't have. A&M doesn't have Austin money.
They have buyout money, not Austin money.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
We need to do like money tiers. Like I think
Yeah, that
Austin,
would scare me.
Texas A&M oil Austin.
Hey,
money.
somebody said Deion Sanders.
No.
At A&M,
No.
No.
Yeah.
you think all those rich white oil
Yeah.
billionaires would steal
Yeah.
Deion Sanders?
Because you think a room of translucent
Hey,
85-year-old
all I'm
oil
doing
billionaires
is
wants
looking
to,
at the
yeah.
texags.com forums, man.
There.
They're saying
That's
Deion
fine.
Sanders.
They're as qualified as the four of us to talk about that. That's
Those
fine.
are the backwoods of Texas.
It is.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what the
Those are the
fans
same people that
want,
got
so.
Kevin Sumlin fired for a coach to do worse.
Correct.
I'm just saying.
that-
That's
Dude, okay, imagine like the billionaire count per capita on texags.com has to be higher than any other website in the entire world.
yeah. It's the Abu Dhabi of the internet.
Yeah, millionaires per capita, Texags is number one. But after what LSU and USC did this past year, A&M's not going to take a up and coming coach,
No, they don't have time to wait for a. Yeah, they don't have time to wait for that.
right?
We're up 8 on Citadel now, by the way. Just an update
Yeah.
on the worst college basketball program in the country.
Hey, good teams win, great teams cover.
We're not. We're not.
I don't even.
What was the spread? 3.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, honestly.
Jacob, you mentioned we not know who's good anymore. That could not be more true for the NFL now after the Jets beat the Bills yesterday and a bunch
Yeah,
of
good
double-digit
segue.
favorites
Good
Jacob
segue.
MD. Do you wanna get into it?
completely. Did
Oh
not
yeah,
go well.
let's get into it. I'm a
What
doctor.
contender are we going to start with? I mean,
No, I'm
they all
still
look
no.
bad.
Jacob MD.
Let's
We're
get into
going
my. I'm
into
a
the
doctor.
doctor's office.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There's no confirmed reports yet, but there are confirmed reports that Josh Allen has a hurt elbow, and there's rumors that it's the UCL. Your boy here
Was first.
Was on it.
said after the throw happened, before anyone said anything, that he tore his UCL.
Yes,
That's
he
what he
did.
said.
How much more does that affect a quarterback than a pitcher? Is it kind of similar, or is it kind of like an outfielder, like a Bryce Harper situation?
I mean, you need your UCL to throw.
No. Oh yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot he throws like 100 times a year.
Harper?
compared to-
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you need it.
Yeah, his mechanics are going to be affected by it, and the
He's
more he
not out
throws
there
on it, the more he's
spinning
going to hurt
curveballs
it.
with football,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if it's fully torn, you can't hurt it anymore. and it's going to affect him less than a baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
But the velo on a
It's still
football
gonna
pitcher
affect him.
from 64 to 48, and it's going to hurt like hell.
Right.
What's
But-
the recovery time for something like this?
12 months.
Yeah, a long time.
Oh God.
He'd be out through the bye next year probably.
Now, football's a little different. Well,
Well, he's
You
not in
don't-
Miami, so they're gonna keep him out.
He's probably out till week. If it does happen, he's probably out till week 5.
Did you guys watch Chiefs last night, prime time,
No.
2017 win? I know Jacob was up for that one.
Yep.
Just strangely, just horrible performances offensively from a lot of the best offenses in the NFL. The Vikings struggled.
Offense is
Dolphins
down.
struggled.
Offense is down this year.
Fun is down.
Yeah. I mean, the Dolphins and the Bears got in a shootout. Actually, Justin Fields set the record for QB rushing yards in a single game, passing some guy named Mike Vick. He had a 61-yard rushing TD yesterday, but they ended up losing by 3. So
Keep going. I have to send an email, but I want to get into 2021 NFL Draft QB tier rankings. But keep going and recap.
all right,
A little-
I got you.
I mean, more 2021 QB quarterbacks. Trevor got the win. I don't know
They
if you
finally
remember
closed the
next or
game.
not.
Jaguars closed out a win, like Bailey mentioned, against the team that 2 of the people in this call picked to win the AFC West. So congrats to you guys. They are now 2 and $1 billion because they're the worst team in the NFL with Devontae Adams somehow. So,
No, there's a team in Charlotte.
well, before Sunday, that wasn't true. But you guys are
Um,
being bad on purpose. That's just the difference.
Shout out to the Jaguars for hitting a parlay for me and Grayson. Shout out to Grayson for getting on it first, but
Yep.
Bets are bets and they hit.
Yeah, Travis Etienne with the injury to Breece Hall looking like the best young running back in the league. Dameon Pierce, a rookie. I'm continuing to refer to Travis as a rookie just because he missed every snap of his rookie year
He is.
last year.
I think
Technically,
he's
so
classified as one. Is it like
I don't think he's
baseball?
up for awards or anything. I don't think that's how that works, but
I feel like
it should. I mean, but yeah, he's impressed a ton since James Robinson got shipped off to the Jets. He has had 100 yards from scrimmage every game since. I think he scored in 4 or 5 games too. So blossoming into a much bigger role in Jacksonville. They finally, like I've said a couple times, closed out a game. They've had leads in the last 5 minutes. It feels like every week, but they've lost every game. Brady led the Bucs over the Rams. Game-winning touchdown drive, less than a minute, no timeouts. So clearly, divorced Brady is now a force to reckon with once again. Chargers won another one-score game. They're 5-1. Texas legend Cameron Dicker hit the field goal to give us a win over the
kicker.
clearly elite and division leading still. I think it's actually Tampa now. Atlanta Falcons. We have no healthy receivers, so I'll just have to get a win after Seattle destroyed us going into a bye.
How funny is it that as soon as Marcus Freeman converts to Catholicism, that they get good? I mean,
Night and day.
if the
Well,
Catholic
barring Stanford, but yeah,
if the Catholic Church isn't running ads,
they should.
yeah.
They should. 2 teams 6-3, the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets. Just to give you an idea of how crazy this season has been from a surprise contender standpoint. The Seahawks were looking to be in the Stroud sweepstakes, and instead they are very much alive in the NFC playoff picture. So I don't think anybody had that pinned in.
It was a guy problem there.
Yeah. Clearly a shift in culture and results in Seattle with the departure of a certain quarterback. But yeah, that was about it in the NFL. A lot of the better teams, the best teams. I think the Niners want to buy, but Eagles, Vikings, Dolphins struggling. Chiefs, like we mentioned, scored 17 regulation against the Titans team. They were 2 touchdown favorites against. So just very weird week. I don't think any of the double-digit spreads got there for the favorites. So any given Sunday to the extreme. Another great witching hour too. I was driving back for a lot of it, but a lot of close games, a lot of good finishes, and one of the better ones for us as Clemson / Jaguars fans. I know Beezy is, since the Browns aren't good anymore. Trevor Lawrence has resurrected. That was week 9, I think. All the idiots on Twitter calling Trevor a bust. That's true. All the idiots on Twitter calling Trevor Lawrence's career dead have oddly been off the platform after Sunday. So
I've still seen him.
see.
I've still seen him.
Yeah. He's had too much of a roller coaster season for them to be fully off.
I guess I had to give credit to Elon for fixing that part of Twitter then, because I haven't seen it as much. But
I mean, to be fair,
tired of it.
I Twitter searched his name just to see what people are saying.
Okay, well that's different.
Yeah.
Let's say how he does against the Chiefs.
I don't have the patience to do that, Jacob. To be clear, so that's credit to you.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
fair.
I mean, if he can prove himself versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, Malik Willis just did it. I mean,
I forget about him.
Malik Willis
well,
proved himself.
I'm kidding. If you guys didn't watch the game, I don't think he had a completion to a wide receiver last night. So
He did not.
shout out to
Man.
Derrick Henry and lots. Of
I just got to
watch.
watching Derrick Henry highlights yesterday during that game.
Yeah,
Man, it's incredible how good of a running back he is. He's underrated, isn't he?
I'd like to say thank you.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Did you say Derrick Henry's underrated?
I'm kidding.
I was about to say I think he's very properly rated.
very fairly
Yeah.
in that
Yes.
extremely top tier of running backs. Yeah.
Only running back in all history to run 2,000 in every level. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I was just watching that and I was like, that's incredible.
That's big of you considering he puts up 250 yards and 6 TDs in the Texans every time he plays them, and that's your former.
I mean, he's got
diehard
quads
team,
the size
so.
of me, so should be good.
It's just like how he was 6'3", 240 in high school, and he's
'Cause he was
similar to
bred in
that
a
now.
lab.
That's
I know.
generational.
It's just like,
yeah.
and I was watching some of the stiff arms that he's done to guys in the league, and it's like, how do you do that to top level athletes? Like, it's
You're
just
a tier ahead.
I mean, he's
Right.
like
Yeah.
he's LeBron James relative athleticism.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like freak nature.
Right. Because for his size, it should be impossible, and it's not. It makes it
Yeah.
look easy.
Yeah.
Speaking of tiers, Jacob, you wanted to do some tiers for the 21 draft class at
Tier
QB.
talk. Yeah, do some tier talk. And I want to hear the opinions of everyone, and especially Beezy. Actually, I want Beezy to go first as per usual. If you had to redraft the quarterbacks in order of Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones,
Davis Mills.
Dang, this is hard.
Davis Smith.
What was the order?
It was Trevor, Zach, Trey Lance, Justin Fields,
Fields,
Mac Jones.
and then Davis Mills.
Where's Davis Mills at? Davis Mills he'd still be last for me. He's for the Texans, I know. He'd still be
Kellen Mond
last.
was and Cal Trask are in that draft class too. That were taken
Oh wow.
3 and
Mond.
1 pick ahead of him. So I mean,
I haven't heard
They
of
were
that.
taken
name in a
ahead
while.
of Davis Mills.
Trask went 64, Mond went 66, Mills went 67.
Trask is the future starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
By default, not his own merit.
Whatever.
There's no one else there.
Right.
I mean, it's
All right, BC, go ahead.
I mean, what you're hearing from me is not going to be very accurate because I haven't watched these teams. I don't
doesn't
even
mean
know,
anything. Come on.
like, I don't even know how Trey Lance has done at all. I
well
have
because he
no
hasn't
idea.
played. He's been hurt.
Okay.
That's
Well, see, there you go. That tells you how much I know.
Drive of the second.
I'd rather you just made something up, but no,
I think
he has not played.
Zach Wilson, based on the Jets record, he's obviously had some kind of good impact.
He wasn't there
on
for the
that team.
first 3
He
or 4
really
games.
hasn't.
I haven't watched anything. I'm telling you. I paid
I
attention to Trevor a little bit.
I think it's Trevor, Justin.
Yeah, that has to be one too. I think.
Trevor then Justin, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I feel like a rational person would say, and we have obviously extreme bias. But like you just and everyone's
I
saying
can see Justin Trevor.
I couldn't.
I've heard so many people trash on Justin Fields though too.
Well, he's had a bad.
It's not in the last 3-4 weeks though.
Yeah, he's had a last good like 3 weeks, but he's just been running the ball.
Right.
Like he's not being a QB. It's the same reason why Lamar Jackson doesn't have a deal yet.
Right.
Yeah.
We make fun of Lamar Jackson, but teams do not want to pay
Yeah.
you to run the ball.
At what point is it not sustainable? Like
Right.
it's gonna be like, oh, you're really, really, really good, and then 1 year you're just not.
Yeah.
Because
You'll
one-
lose your legs before you lose your arm.
Right,
That's why
yeah.
Brady's 80 years old and still in the league.
Right. Yeah, you go from running a 4.4 one year to a 4.6 next year, and then oh shit, like I don't break off 20-yard runs anymore. I get caught at the line of scrimmage, which is
Right.
so crazy that that's how close the game is. But when you have Lyman running 4.9s and Myles Garrett's probably running a 4.3 now.
And linebackers too. It's
Yeah, linebackers are all, Isaiah Simmons runs a 4.3.
Right.
And he's 250 pounds. I don't know.
So y'all think Trevor, without bias, is still number one?
People don't get slower at 26 than they were at 21. That's when you're like Tyreek Hill might have ran a 4.21 in college, but now he's running a 4.1. You know what I mean? It's just I just don't like, and this is why I want to bring it up because it makes me mad. The fact that you say Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence because he's had
never once been true.
Because in the past couple weeks, he's had some balls air on him. He's overthrown a couple guys. Well, that sure wasn't the case this past week. Whenever.
No.
And also, he doesn't have receivers. I know Justin Fields also doesn't have receivers, but still, did Chase Claypool pay this past week? Do we know?
Yes.
I think you did. Still, if you're banking on Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool, both decent, but they're not Allen Robinson, who Chicago lost. Trevor's got Evan Ingram at tight end, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones Jr., Christian Kirk. I think I'm forgetting one, and they overpaid all of them to come to the dumpster fire that was Jacksonville. So, from a Caps perspective, it's not gonna get much better than that.
I think it paid off though, because I know they just traded for what's his name, Calvin Ridley.
That's going to be great next year. Yeah. Also, ETN, obviously.
Let's say Kirk Cousins falls off the map in 2 years, and you got Justin Jefferson sitting there. Now you trade 2 first and get Jefferson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they overpaid him, that probably developed Trevor a lot more than throwing a Laquan Treadwell.
Right.
Even if they're not elite receivers, they're still good.
Ridley will help. He will be the best receiver in that room from day one next year, too.
Oh, so yeah.
It's, and they got him for conditional day 3 picks. So, that is pretty much.
They re-sign him, it goes to a second round.
Okay. Well, still, that's still cheaper than what he's worth.
Every time it's worth that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said if he signs a contract extension that, it goes to a second rounder. Why would you not go to Calvin Ridley, be like, hey, go to free agency and sign back with us for this amount? That way you get the same money and we get a second rounder.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Day one of free agency. Oh, Calvin Ridley signs with the Jaguars. And they keep their second.
If they draft the defense well, I don't know about doing what Carolina did a couple years ago and going every pick defense, but if that team's in striking distance, you can go out and get a Justin Jefferson or something like that.
Dude, the Jaguars defense is it can be good.
Right. No, it's just late has been the issue.
Do what?
They're playing 55 minutes of defense in a 60-minute game is the issue.
They need if they can get one corner, a la Jalen Ramsey, who they obviously had.
Right.
If they could get one above average corner, oh my God.
If they had Saxonville with this team,
I don't think that far. This defense is pretty good. This defense is pretty good.
And they don't have to be Saxonville to win games, honestly. They really don't.
No.
To be a contender, but they're a long way out from
20
that.
points a game and still go 11-5 next year, or 11-6. Yeah. I don't know. Next year really is the make or break year with Trevor and Jacksonville.
Yeah, you can't really count last year.
So this is the first year of
what he had around him last year and Urban Meyer and all that situation.
I think Trevor's taken major steps this year, and year 2 of Doug Peterson is going to be huge. Huge.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's a year 2 of reasonable expectations. So that helps the clock a little bit.
Right. This coming up is going to be his first offseason with a coach, a full offseason.
Yes.
Where there's any sort of continuity, which is hilarious.
And Fields has dealt with that too. So it's kind of been the curse of a lot of these quarterbacks, honestly.
See, I don't think that Trevor y'all don't think that he does not meet expectations in any sense?
I mean,
Realistic expectations.
as the
I'm not
first
talking-
overall generational prospect, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, John Elway, he probably doesn't meet those year 2 expectations. But when you look at like the total picture with external factors, it's kind of hard to really give it a grade thus far.
Yeah,
Like,
they were a 1-win team with no skill talent, made the worst coaching hire in the last 20 years.
Right.
And they were like, go fix it. Oh,
Right.
also, your first-round running back will not play a snap, by the way.
Yeah, and it's
And James
like,
Robinson was fine, but he was fine.
And you're going to throw to LaVinch Walk or whatever his name was.
by the way,
Yeah.
we still have half a year left. He could
Right.
be
Yeah.
like amazing in week 15, 16, 17.
Right.
We don't know.
They could very well play the spoiler in the NFL. That's
It's
wide
just
open.
like everything. It's what have you done for me lately? Like that sums up football basically. Like
And with where the
college
Colts are
football.
at, they could finish second in that division, and who wouldn't have taken that in August?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they just
Right.
fired their coach.
Okay, all right. All right, let's go through the schedule. What are they, 3-5 right now?
3-6.
3-6. They haven't had a bye yet. I don't think.
They got Chiefs
All
and they
right,
got a
so-
bye.
They're losing that game.
Chiefs
They
is
lost
an L.
round
Browns. What are you looking at?
schedule.
Full season schedule.
Oh, that's preseason. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Probably
so
should have beat Houston.
I should beat Houston.
Yeah.
Houston was terrible.
Probably should have beat
Is.
Denver.
I mean, but none of their losses, like every single one of them losses, they were one score away from
Yeah,
From winning.
6-8, 7-7, 6-4.
right.
I
So
mean, this is
they're
But
not.
I mean, when
I'm
you beat a
not gonna
team 24-0 and then lose,
I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Chiefs. I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Raiders. But there's no.
Ravens, you mean?
are
Yeah.
they
got
gonna
to beat the
Ball?
Raiders. Yeah,
They could
like
beat
Detroit, Tennessee, Houston,
Dallas?
Tennessee again. I mean, that's
Yeah. Their schedule's tough.
yeah, it
Giants?
is. It's difficult.
Or Jets? I mean Jets. They already lost. to
That's
Giants.
tough. That's Thursday night too. Short week on the road. That's tough.
Like I don't care about like strength of schedule before the season starts. I want to know what it is now.
But they're like a
Because-
7 or 8 win team. I mean, that's
Right now they're at
Huge
6. Right now they're at 6 point. Before the season they had the 12th easiest schedule, so or 18th hard or 20th hardest, however you want to say it.
yeah.
But I want to know what it is now.
With Indy being down, Denver being down, I bet it's at least what they've already had behind them.
But the Jets are.
but they play the NFC East now. Who would have known that Philly and Cowboys, Giants, like who would have thought before the season they were good? Or
Right, but
as
they've
good
only
as they are
played
now.
Philly so far. So like I guess the Giants too. So like right now, yeah, you're probably right.
The remaining strength of schedule, the Jaguars have the 7th toughest remaining strength of schedule.
Which makes
Going-
sense. You got
Opponent win team.
at the Chiefs, like you mentioned, for the bye, home against the Ravens, home against the Cowboys, go to the Jets, go to the Titans, which is still a not easy game. They have another game left with the Titans to end the year. So I mean that
Dude.
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's brutal, man. And they already played the Eagles. They played the Cowboys, or no, they haven't played. The Giants. Point being, they've had a tougher schedule than the team that had the first overall pick last year would typically have.
Right. Yeah. And with
Oh, yeah.
ETN fully
I mean,
being
they-
unleashed now, that ceiling raises a bit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
They only have 2 teams left on their schedule that have less than 500 record.
yeah, it's the Texans and the Lions.
Yes. So for
Those
us
are
to
both
be
on the
halfway
road, too.
through, it's crazy.
Beezy, how are we feeling for Week 12 coming up?
I'm curious. I'm curious to see.
Beezy, what do you think the ceiling is for this Browns team,
Just like
assuming Deshaun
Deshaun's.
comes back?
Ceiling is very low to the ground this year because Deshaun
it the
hasn't
roof?
played. Huh?
Is the ceiling the roof?
I don't. Is that a trick
That's a,
question?
that's a wrong suspended athlete.
Reference.
But I mean, do you think they could crash the playoff party very late, even as bad as they've been?
How?
Versus the-
Yeah. What's their current record? I don't even know.
They have the 21st easiest remaining schedule. 21st.
They're They're 3-6. They got Dolphins lost. Bills.
They're 3-5
lost,
right
Bucks. Oh, 3-5.
They had a
Okay.
bye
Yeah,
this
it's 3
week.
and 5.
Yeah.
Dolphins L, Bills L. So that's what 3-7. Then Bucks.
Yeah, but
that's
don't
also
they play the
lost.
Bills? Are you
Huh?
going through in order?
Yes.
Are you going through in order?
Yes. I
Have
am.
you been watching? The Bucks are very good. They're actually quite
Well,
bad.
they're not good, but if Brady is better post-divorce, I mean, you never. It's Brady. You can never count against him. What?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And
You're just
then
funny, Beezy.
Texans. That should be a win, but that is the first game that Deshaun's back. And Texans are going to be pretty motivated, I would think. If there's a time for them to pull off an upset, it's that game. So
Browns are 1 game back.
Right. If Baltimore loses tonight.
Oh wait, no, they're 2 games back. Sorry.
Yeah. Baltimore plays the Saints tonight. Actually, that's like kicked off already.
It's 0-0 about end of the first.
Okay. So yeah, if Baltimore loses tonight, they are tied with Cincinnati at 5-4 atop the AFC North, and then Cleveland's there at 3-5 coming out of a bye. So
There's a chance. I mean, I don't
that
Slim
division
chance.
path I laid out to Bailey is there still.
for the Browns to win the division.
Yes.
They'd have to
Yeah, you're
pull
right.
off an upset, though.
It's
Wow.
there.
But the easiest path for them to make it is the division.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah, you're
as bad as they've been. It's there. It's there. It shouldn't be,
It is there.
but that
that's-
division's so.
That's
How much does
painfully
that
average.
team improve once Deshaun plays?
Have you watched a snap of Brissett this year?
exponentially.
Couple. So if I don't know, it's kind of a dumb. They would have beat the Jets.
There's no dumb questions, BZ.
They would have beat the Jets. They would have beat
Yes.
the Falcons. They would have beat the
Yes.
Chargers,
Yes.
Ravens, Pats.
You
are
see
the
what I'm
only
getting
team.
at here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It took late
There's
Brissett
like
picks
a
to
very-
lose those games.
What'd you say, Jacob?
There's a very viable path for them to win the division.
Yeah. We also have to think if Deshaun, when he comes back, how much rust is he going to have to get off? So
Yeah, there's gonna be
I mean,
there's gonna be a
what better
they
way
play
to
the
start that than play the Texans? Yeah.
Yeah.
that is very good point. That helps him a lot.
But yeah,
So,
first game back is the Texans, and then who's after that? And then it's the Bengals, who they have their number.
Ravens, who they barely lost to earlier. Saints, who are not good. Commanders, are they good
Not
this
good.
year?
No.
I didn't think
No,
so.
they're not.
And up, who are we? The Commanders.
And then the Steelers are terrible. They should win every single game after Deshaun comes in.
They'll lose one, maybe two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could easily finish the year 4-2.
The
Right.
Saints are bad, man. If the only reason why the main reason why the Browns are 3-5 right now and not 7-1 or 6-2 is Deshaun, there's no reason for them to.
Yeah, that is literally the difference.
Yeah, it's quarterback play,
Yeah.
which we're well aware of.
So once they're there,
They beat the who do they beat? They beat the okay, hang on, let's go through this. They beat the Jets, then they would have beat the Falcons, and then they would have beat the Chargers. They probably beat the Ravens.
It's on the
4
table.
wins. Yeah, they could easily be 7-1 right now.
Yeah.
dang, I know that they wish they could have him back right now for the stretch they're about to go on though, because this is the first. There's a 3-game stretch, not even 2-game stretch where they're playing decent teams. It's not even a stretch. It's just Dolphins and Bills. Their schedule sucked. Oh my gosh. I thought they would be better than they have been, so I'm surprised Brissett's that bad.
He has thrown them out of literally 3 or 4 wins.
7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's not the worst I've seen.
But 4 of the 5 have been within the last 3 minutes of games.
If you're gonna throw 5 picks through 8 weeks, you better have 15 touchdowns.
touchdowns,
Right.
Yeah. Well, I was looking because I mentioned Zach Wilson and the Jets being 6-2, and I saw that he's 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions this year.
He's not good.
Yeah,
That's who I'm comparing him to.
But their defense is so good that like he doesn't have to be. He just has to be
Right.
not bad.
You
But
don't have to
4
raise
and
the
5
floor,
is
just don't lower the
really
ceiling.
bad.
That's what Brissett does. That's the issue.
Well, I don't know. I'm curious to see. I mean, and I'm curious to see kind of like the reaction if there's like just bad vibes when he gets back in, or like how that transition happens
No.
too.
I'm sure Pittsburgh won't say anything about it. The fan.
No, like it's gonna follow him the rest of his career, I'm sure.
Right, but winning also helps a lot of things.
Yeah. Vic made dogs kill each other, and
Okay, he went to jail. Like, that's different.
But he's
He
just
still
fast,
played.
and now his reputation is good. All he is fast. Imagine if he would have won a Super Bowl.
He had an arm on him too. He could throw a little 70, 80 yarder in the air. Not
like
80.
80
He
He
yards.
could run faster than that
70.
ball would get there in the air.
He had a freaking cannon though.
Isaiah Likely touchdown from Lamar, so 7-0 Baltimore.
Oh, that game's on. Okay.
Early second quarter.
That's about it for me, boys.
Same here. I've been on my bedtime, boys.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the NFL. Quickly, Houston buzzing. Astros won the title. Won it in 6 games, which I know I had. I don't know about y'all. Beezy did have Phillies in 5, which had life for a game, 2 games technically. So I credit him for being bold, but
What did I
not
have?
quite. We all had, me, you, and Bailey had Houston. I don't know about games. I had 6 though.
I think I had 5. That sounded like I had 5.
Yeah, Verlander.
Thanks. So y'all told me wrong. Why? So I can be right.
Verlander not quite winning the MVP. It was Pena, which none of us had, I don't think.
No.
I had
But,
Jordan.
I think I'd
his
like-
name.
which is fair. Edwin Diaz got paid 5 years, $102 million.
Totally not
Guys,
going to backfire.
And a
Right.
blow up face.
other guys seeking paydays like that, but probably much, much bigger. Correa, DeGrom, Bogarts, Rizzo, Rodon, all opting out. They'll be free agents.
Rizzo is not getting paid.
What?
Yeah, he will.
Not.
Who's gonna get
not,
5 for 120?
I think he is. For
Yeah.
how old is he?
He's like 31, and he had a career year last year.
Yeah, he'll get his money. Yeah, true. Not my MVP.
Yeah, he's gonna get his money. Just like
NBA
O'Shea next year.
Yeah, also the
Which
Angels
sounds
came
like
out and
the
said we're
Braves.
not trading him, so look for that trade to happen.
Did say that.
Next week.
It's happening next week.
Braves legend Perry Manaison said firmly that we will not trade him this winter. So as soon as the groundhog
of
says
spring.
spring starts, Ohtani will be a Yankee probably, and I will kill myself. So it'll be great.
That means as soon as the new owner signs the papers, that Manaea will trade him. Because he's there solely to make the franchise look better on paper.
Right. Which, giving our pitching track record hasn't gone great. But I'm still undefeated in the fantasy basketball league to the shock of probably no one. Has Beezy won yet?
That was
I have not.
No.
Well,
I think I was losing to Jacob yesterday.
like his Browns, he is he's lulling us all into a false sense of security before he rips off 8 wins in a row to end the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still firm with Beezy will in the league because he can't miss the playoffs, I don't think. So that helps.
You get hot for 2 games.
He will have the only playoff resume worse than Clemson's, and he will still make the playoffs. So
I beat you by 450.
Yeah.
I think I beat him by like 800. So sorry, but not sorry.
Grayson, I got you this week, I think.
Well, I'm not sorry for what I'm going to do to your team then because I'm not losing the entire year.
Give away.
Right now, Jacob's winning.
Also not losing the Bucks to this point. They are 9-0. They are perfect. All 15 NBA teams, not 15 NBA teams, every NBA team in action tonight. They're taking Election Day off tomorrow. So first day in a very long time, if ever, every single team in action tonight. So, but football's on, so that will be king, obviously.
That makes sense why all my players are playing then.
Literally every single one of everyone's players is playing. Yeah.
And I forgot to.
Except for Kyrie. So shout out to, I think, Bailey.
I don't have Kyrie.
Nets have not hired Ime Udoka yet. The GM came out and said they're not doing it, so I think the Twitter backlash backed them off of that. The Jazz are 8-3. That makes no sense. That's pretty much the equivalent of the Seahawks and the Jets.
Yeah.
Warriors, 5-game road trip, lost the first 4, benched 4 starters in the 5th game, and got killed again. So they've lost 5 or 6 in a row now. Big game against Baylor's Kings tonight. So I will be a big De'Aaron Fox fan for a couple hours later on tonight. But yeah, that's pretty much everything this week. Game of the night, Thunder beating the Pistons right now. I'm sure you guys are all watching that. So,
Did we end up winning basketball? We still playing?
Oh, I don't know.
probably in double overtime right now, I guess.
78-69.
What?
We
Are
were
we?
with a minute 45.
That's us though, right?
Yeah, we're up by 9.
Damn it.
That's not a safe lead with Brownell.
No, it's not.
We're up 9.
I will attach another rant if we end up losing this game outright, but I think that's all we got this week.
It's got to lose to Stetson.
Is Leonard Hamilton not still the coach? What the hell?
He is.
That ain't great. Y'all got anything else this week?
Nah.
All right. Lead us out,
It's a
Bailey.
long one.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Subscribe.